Come and share with us.
Well, I want to stand before you with a testimony. It is a privilege to serve the Lord. And I think of the great Phineas Brazil, who was the founder of the Church of the Nazarene. He said once, the sun never sets on the Church of the Nazarene. And it is an awesome privilege to experience that firsthand. And what he meant, it's around the world. Wherever you go, the sun is always shining on the church. And it's a privilege to be involved in mission work because you get to meet some really awesome people. You get to experience not only great leaders on the field, but I think more importantly, you get to experience great fellowship amongst the congregation, just like you. You know, you think you're so different than people overseas. You're not. You're not. They have a different culture, a different language, but you still have this fellowship that's really awesome. And it's been my privilege to be sent and to be a part of that. We haven't formally announced it, but I'm going to make this opportunity to formally announce it because I have been challenged, I guess, to search for a work and witness project. It started about January, and everything just kind of collapsed. One thing after another. The dates didn't work, the finances didn't work, the coordinator didn't work, the country didn't work. But along comes a man by the name of Fidencia a couple of months ago, and then he started sharing his vision of Guatemala, and the Lord really spoke and said, we want part of that. We want to get on board with that. And as of right now, we are. Next July 14th through 28th, we're going to work with Fidencia in Guatemala, northern Guatemala, remote areas, to build a church. And I just found out this morning that our project has already changed, which is okay. We have a little motto, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not break, because we have to be flexible. And if you work missions, if you're not flexible, you won't make it. You'll die. You'll collapse. But anyway, it's my privilege and my honor to introduce somebody you already know. He's already a friend of the church, a friend of us, and he is going to be our guide, if we can say that. But he's going to, and the reason I bring this announcement to you is not so much for your participation or your help, which is really what we need, but we want your prayers. These things do not happen without your prayer support. They'll just fall apart if the church isn't behind it all. And this is going to be your project. This is not a district thing. It's St. Augustine Church of the Nazarene is all behind this. And you're going to have that privilege. And when we're done there, we're going to come back home, just like Jesus told his disciples, come back, give me a report. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a report of what's going on with this great fellow, with the great team that you're sending, and the great church around the world. So, again, it's my privilege to introduce Fidencia Lima, our friend from Guatemala.
The microphone is working again for the time being. Say a prayer for it, and we'll see for the last. So here you go, brother.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, I'm going to try to enjoy this microphone while I can, in case go out, so I can use my vocal cord, he say. It's a privilege to be here this morning. George Lytle and Lila and Mike Henley, they are my, I think they are my guide. I don't know, they're leading me around here. But like 18 years ago, actually 20 years ago, I came to United States first time. But about 2 years later, I come back again, and I got a little work, like under table little work from somebody do landscaping. And he used to mow the yard for, back then used to be a Bellsoft company. Now I think it's AT&T. So he used to come from Jacksonville to do all the yard around here, and I was the little wetback guy and helping him and do all the little monkey work for him, and he really enjoyed it, and I didn't care, you know, I really like, you know, that kind of things. And I used to pass by this church, and I always say, man, I wish I come to church this. I wish I can go and and be one day in this church, but I don't know how to do it because you guys here in America, you kind of, you have a different way to do your church, you know. You kind of have to tell before if you show up and you're going to be like strange little guy there. Who is that little watermelon right there, you know? So I just say, well, one day, and it's it. About a month, 2 months ago, I was here in your church, but that church, not this one. But hurricane came, and I think that was just God was been telling you, you need to redo your pews, you need to do a little touch up in your church, but you won't listen to him until he said, well, I'm just going to have to push you up to do it. So he sent hurricanes. So everything's a blast. Don't you think? Yeah. So anyway, just happened to be here, and 2 months ago we talked about a work and witness team going to Guatemala. But once again, for some reason, the Church of the Nazarene, they kind of backing up. For some reason, the Church of the Nazarene, they rather staying home and go to church every Sunday and not doing mission anymore. I don't know what's happening. So, and as a Nazarene member, we've been praying for the American people in Guatemala. Well, I want you to know that. We're praying for the American people that they can be the American we used to know. They can be, again, I don't want to say the word because you might say I'm a politic, but I don't want to say the word. We want to be the great America again, you know. Don't take me wrong with that word, you know. But we want you to be the American I met 20 years ago. I mean, 3 work and witness team every month to Guatemala. Now, the Nazarene Church, the whole country is getting only 3 work and witness team a year. That's why he can't go. So 3 little districts north of Guatemala, it's still working? I don't think so. So 3 districts of the Mayan Kekchi in Guatemala, they got together. They say, well, we got to do something. The missionaries, they changed. They're not American anymore. They are from Colombia. They are Nicaraguans. I don't know what they have against you guys, but it looks to me like they don't really want to talk to you. But I'm not trying to be telling me gossip, but some things happened there. So these 3 little district, Kekchi people, they got together and they say, we got to do something. And they came one day to talk to me and say, please, help us, lead us. You speak the English, you speak the Mayan language, you speak the Spanish language, and also you speak the Americans' language. So you have the gift of tongue, and help us. That's the gift of tongue. You know? Some people think like Ting Marin de dos Pingüe, that's the tongue language, but it's not. You know? The gift of tongue is speaking somebody else's tongue so you can communicate, you know, you understand. So anyway, I say, well, it's my pleasure. That's what God teach me that word so that I can talk to you. Anyway, so I'm leading a little ministry we call Ministry of Serving My Neighbor. So that way we don't step on nobody's toe. Work and witness program is a worldwide thing, but it's supported by 3 superintendents of the Nazarene Church in Guatemala, and you're going to meet them. The team's coming. Anyway, there's so many needs there. If you get hurricane here every year, we are in an equator. We get tropical rain just about every month. So we got to build strong building. But anyway, but there's so many needs in Guatemala that 2 months ago, one of the village there, they have their church, but they are in a landlord's place. In Guatemala, 78% of the land owned by only 12 families. And almost every Mayan people, they have born and raised and grow and die and a landlord's property. So they sharecrop. But in one of these community, they call Chichach community. The old man died. He didn't care much. He was helped the church, and he don't care, you know. But the old man died, and the son, he don't want the Nazarene church in that community anymore. And he just kicked the church out of that village. And he's putting a cardamom and a coffee machine in the building. And he's going to pay for it, you know, because the church has been built to worship God. Is that correct? So whoever going to do something wrong with that, he's going to pay for it. I don't wish that, but sometimes my human feeling comes up and I say, man, you know, but anyway, let's just God take care of that. But these people, there are 150 members of the Nazarene church, they got to move up out of the property, out of the land. And they are working hard, and they've been having a church service in a patio of somebody's house in this village. And they start to work so hard. They bought a small property with D. They have a D, title. ¿Cómo se dice? Título, ¿sí? Title. The D is the land now. They own the land, owned by the Nazarene church now. They're not just a landlord's property anymore. But there's so many rocks in that place. It's Guatemala. So they use a lot of sledgehammer. And you guys donate me 2 months or two and a half months ago, $535, I think so. That was the amount. And I bought, and I told them, okay, go ahead and start to build. And we bought some concrete blocks with that money, and plus a little bit of money they gave me in another Nazarene church. And this family is offering here, George Lytle. And so we bought this concrete block for that church. And they are working because we make a decision. There's working witness from St. Augustine's going in June or July, sometime July. And we got to have that wall before they come. They're working. And pray for them, so because this is the season, so they can sell their cardamom and their coffee. In Guatemala, the Mayan people, they only get paid one time a year. You get here every weekend or something like that, right? Or every month, I don't know. Or every day. Anyway, there they get paid one time a month when they sell their crop, the cardamom. Cardamom is a green seed. You're going to be able to see when you come there. And the coffee, you know what is coffee. American people buys coffee. The cardamom, Middle East buys that kind. They use it as a tea. They selling that, so they're going to buy material. So they are working hard, and you guys coming over there, and you're going to build a roof, and we're going to pour a concrete slab, do electrical work, and do some painting. So please, don't give up on me this time, and they already know. And we, like he said, we're building the kingdom of God. God knows what's happening. God knows why his people has to kind of having a hard time sometimes. But no, God, he knows why these things happen. Because sometimes somebody told me there, you know, I'm kind of giving up to believe that God is powerful. Why? Why God, he didn't take care of this little young man, this new young man? He just kicked us out of his property. Where is God right now? We just lost our building. And we're not going to be working for them anymore. So where is God? We're supposed to believe in him. They say, well, he is there. God, he's like the student in college. Everybody's quiet doing their exam, right? They're testing. But the teacher is somewhere in the corner watching what's going to happen, you know? So that's how God works sometimes. So we just, as we go into Guatemala, we're not just going to build a building. We're going to build a stronger faith for the Nazarene people there. And not just for them, and for us too. When you're coming back here, you're going to experience the best time in your life in the Christian time. Trust that word. And pray for the pastor. You don't get salary there until 1 year later. This is how the people looks like. I'm going to try to send it to Miss Joey. It's email so you can see it better way. This is the Guatemalan way. I'm not very good at it. I'm not updated to the technology yet, so am I going to get someone to teach me a little bit? And some of the young people there, we have a lot of young people there in the Nazarene Church. That's a good news. That's a good news. A lot of young people. And this is the pastor family. Pastor Emilio and his wife Maria. So please and pray for them that they kind of get discouraged about what's happened to them. So this is an emergency priority needs in one of this district. So please, Church of San Augustine, pray for Guatemala and pray for those pastors. They really have a hard time in economy way, but they are so happy. They are enjoying the Christian life, and let's just keep building the kingdom. And remember that being a Christian, not just coming to church, it's not just only faith, and also is doing things. Remember that. I don't know exactly how to translate this in English, but understand the Bible say that work with no faith is no good, and faith with no work is no good. So we got to do it together. Some of you probably is going to Guatemala. Some of you are going to stay behind and pray for them. But so we're going to be a one team. And some of you might send something. The way I'm finance all this ministry in Guatemala is I come to the state. I do a little work, but I go to yard sales, or I go to some people's garage and takes hand tools which is still sellable at the border in Guatemala. And I'm going back this trip in a truck and taking the stove and the refrigerator you're going to use when you get there, because I want you to be in the middle of nowhere, but also I want to be like comfortable. I don't want you to burn your hand in a fire cooking your scrambled egg there. I want you to cook in the stove when you get there. I don't want you to leave your water outside so it get cold. I want you to put your little water in the refrigerator when you get there. So I want to take care of you. Don't worry about that. I know how American tastes. I know how the American lives. So I've been here around, so I know exactly how to take care of you, whoever's going over there. And whoever stay behind, don't worry about them. I will take care of your men. I will take care of your people when they get there. So please, let's be the Nazarene church we used to be again. Please do that. And God bless you. And I'm enjoying to be here with you. And we're going to be talking about this thing. I'm going to be updating you with some picture that she's going to tell me the way to do it. So that way we don't have to do this little paper things, and because it doesn't work very well then. Thank you very much. God bless you, and enjoying to be here. Pastor Andy, thank you very much. I don't know what's happened to your suit today, but you look relaxable this way. I feel better. I feel better to look to see you this way, because when you come with your tie and your suit, I feel a little bit bad. So
Well, you look good, brother. Well,
okay. God bless you, brother.